last season on Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. Previously on Beauty and the
Beast. There was obviously a lot of changes from the way the show started to the way the show ended up in the season.
Right.
In your mind, sort of, what's the next step of the journey?
I think the next step of the journey is to take away all the things that didn't work in season 1, and all the things that did work, sort of weave them together to create season 2. And we've got Brad Kern, who is our new showrunner on the show, and he has a great history with mythology-based shows. So he's really come in and taken what was created in season 1 and very much refined it. So I have to tell you that the cast are very excited about the direction that the show is about to go in. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
But you said what didn't work and what did work. In your mind, what didn't work and what did work in season 1?
Well, I think the procedural, we came in and we didn't really know what the show was. It was a procedural, it was mythology based, it was action, it was romance, it was a lot of things. And so now we've really honed it down into it's a romance based around mythology, and I guess that's what the true intention of Beauty and the Beast should be. The procedural element didn't work. It set up Catherine's character and who she was, and so now it's gone.
So how much did you get to have input on the direction of it this next season?
I mean, not directly, but it's a very collaborative process, and the showrunners and the producers saw what worked and what didn't work, and what us as actors were firing off. And I think they really wanted to open up the universe of Vincent a lot more this season. He was in hiding and reclusive a lot. And this season, through the story of Murfield finally capturing him, they've rewired him and almost taken him over in a way. So he is part of the mantra of season 2 is who am I? And so his is am I beast or am I man? And so he's going to be very much in this pull between serving Murfield and creating his relationship and continuing his relationship with Catherine.
Why on earth would he want to see the prosthetics?
Yeah, so there's 2 things. I wanted the prosthetics to be changed because it was too long in the chair, and we've got a lot to shoot. Whenever I'm in Beast, it's always action sequences, and it's TV, and it's so much to shoot, and people will be yelling and get him out of the chair, and it was a very sort of stressful period. So I said, can we bring that back? And so Brad came in and said, right, well, let's make this work within the story. How can we change the Beast and turn him into something else? So that will be discovered in the opening acts of season 2. And the makeup it's scaled back, but it actually, funnily enough, looks a lot scarier. You see a lot more of me through it, and I can work through it more as an actor. It's not all this sort of jaw thing. And before I thought it was too big and kind of clumsy looking. Now it's very sharp, and it prints really well on camera from our tests that we've done.
You mentioned that he may be interested in now helping Murfield. Why would he want to help Murfield?
Well, that's something that we'll discover. Vincent is a man that's had many people, control him in his life, and I don't think he has any power over that. Catherine's the only one that's really given him that confidence and opportunity to have a life outside of what he was created to do. So, there's always that chance that he can slip back, and there's that sort of, I guess, that instinct in him, that beast quality is to kill or to serve or do what his creators want him to do. So he's still, under their thumb a little bit.
Does your personality change when you're under the makeup? I mean, do you really feel more beastie?
I actually turned into a Joker, and I don't know if that was the old makeup design, and maybe the new makeup design will do something different, but like the old makeup without the paint on it, I kind of felt like Jim Carrey in The Mask. He's like, Lou. So it would turn into this kind of crazy character until they collection. So it'll be interesting to see what Alter Ego comes out with this new design.
How's your life changed in the last year? I mean, obviously
become
a year
busy.
ago, you had no idea the show was going to be so popular, and the accent has changed a bit.
It's funny, I don't know, it's just become busy, and I really had to learn how to deal with personal and career life, and balance those two, because I've never worked on a show that shoots such long hours, and I think a lot of that has to do with the kind of epicness of the battle and the romance and the prosthetics, and there's so much to do. So yeah, just sort of balancing and trying to keep a healthy life with family and do a good job at work.
How much of a change is living in Canada too?
Well, Canada's part of the Commonwealth, so I mean, the people and the sensibilities are all the same. I think it's just such a bigger, hotter or colder city. Shooting in Toronto's extreme winter was pretty full on for me, and I have this like rare condition where I get these hives from the cold. I was shooting a job in Queensland one time, and I stood on this poisonous fish, and it's so cool. The poison from the fish is every time I get hit with rain or whatever, that was the temperature of the water that the fish was in, the poison erupts in my body again. So I've got this thing which is supposed to last for like 10 years. So the winter was really full on for me. And now we're in summer, it's a lot better, but yeah.
It's like a beastly.
It is, it's funny, like sometimes they'll be like, just chuck water on him and let him beast out in his natural way. And these hives sort of come up. Yeah.
What do you miss about home?
The coffee, the clean air. I miss being able to drive 20 minutes to a beautiful beach and then go 30 or 40 minutes the other way and be in some kind of farmland, or just the kind of extremes of nature that we have back home in short distances. Toronto, I feel very landlocked. I like nature and getting out into things, so that's a little bit sort of suffocating for me. But I really love the people in Toronto. The crew that we work with are great. They're really hard-working people, really lovely people to deal with and work with.
Has the reaction online amazed you at all, the passion that's out there for the show?
Yeah, it really has. It's funny that we have such a cult following and really passionate fans. You kind of hear about that, but until you experience it, you don't realize the power that these fans have to keep a show going or to create storylines that they want. They really do have a voice, and through social media, I think that voice is, it's loud, and the executives and the networks and the studios, they listen. So I think it's great that it's so interactive. It's more like theater where the audience can yell or boo or laugh or scream, and that way they can do it through Twitter, and the actors and the directors and everyone hear it.
Very cool.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.